Welcome, welcome. I'm Christy, and this is my natural wellness journey. So thanks for joining me. We are at 4 weeks out, a 1 month weigh-in. And so not only am I doing my weigh-in today, but also my measurements, my inches. And let me just say, I was grateful that I did my inches first this morning, whipped out my tape measure before I jumped on the scale, because I'm doing a little bit of a cha-cha with my scale, a little bit up, a little bit back, a little bit, and I know I'm going to break past the little plateau, the little things that are holding me back. But I definitely saw some improvement with my inches, which was encouraging. And again, just one of those really great reminders that non-scale victories are real and they matter. And all of those little healthy things that you're doing have an effect. Maybe not in the most visual way or in the way that we're expecting. So if you're not measuring things beyond the scale, you could be losing out on opportunities to motivate yourself and encourage yourself to keep going. For example, I was teaching a class last night and a friend was like, "Hey, I can see it in your face." And I've been like, okay, maybe I'm just imagining that for the last couple of weeks, but I can see it in my face. So sorry, back to the inches. So did my measurements, same place as I did them before. So chest, waist, belly, hips, butt, and then right, left thigh, right, left bicep. And, I'm down 13 inches overall. Let's not bury the lead. 13 inches overall. And down an inch in my chest, my belly, and my hips each. But then it was really my thighs and my biceps that I saw the biggest change. I know I'm going for trying to work on the belly, but I have been doing a lot of working on push-ups and squats and doing, my workouts. I've been doing really good for the last 2 weeks on those. And so in some areas I'm expecting, I'm going to get bulked up, but I'm excited that I'm seeing some slimming down in my thighs and my biceps as I'm working on the muscle, losing fat, things like that. So very exciting. I'll pop up a box here with the numbers and the comparisons from a month ago. I'm also feeling really good. My water is still good. I've hit 30 days straight of hitting my water goal. And so I was kind of thinking, okay, do I need to still track it, or am I kind of good on that one and focus on some other ones a little bit more in depth? They say 21 days, 30 days to really form a habit, but then to really kind of get it assimilated. I mean, we're talking about 90 days, 6 months. So I think I'm going to keep tracking my water a little bit more, but kind of let my body be like, yeah, remember it's time for water, rather than relying on the app. Because I'm feeling like my body knows when I need water. I've been doing really good with the workouts, following workouts with the Betty Rocker workouts that I've been doing. And I love her, and she's so motivating, but also supportive and encouraging. So if you mess something up or you can't do the full thing, you have to do an alteration or something, you're still working, you're still progressing. And so that has been really great for me. I think where I struggled this last week was food. Had some stressful moments this week, personally, in my life. And so not because I was craving it, but because emotionally that has become a coping mechanism for me. I turned to food choices that I knew didn't serve me very well. And my body wasn't even like craving it physically, but emotionally I was. So I've got to put in, and I've been doing it, but I've got to keep working on the brain and breaking that cycle of coping mechanisms with food and with sugar. And I mean, sugar addiction is a real thing in your brain, and I've been working really hard to break it. Good news on that side, I can forgive myself. I can, instead of being like, well, I'm done, throwing in the towel, being like, well, it's just this never ending cycle. I can't win. The scale isn't really reflecting how hard I'm working. I can take a step back and be like, no, all these little things that you're doing, all the big things you're doing, it all adds up and it all matters. and it all works together for my good, if not in the exact moment, eventually. And I can forgive myself for slipping up and not eating as great as I wanted to for a day or for a moment, and move on. And I think there were definitely times in the past where I would get hung up on that. Like, oh, okay, I ate something I shouldn't have. I'm going to water fast tomorrow. And that feeds into disordered eating, which I've definitely struggled with for years. And I'm not doing that anymore, guys. I'm all about, okay, back to middle of the road, sustainability over speed. And so I'm really proud of myself. And no matter where you're at in your wellness journey, you should be proud of yourself too for sticking with it. It's about consistency and about sustainability, and not about, can I lose 10 pounds every week? Because we know that that's not sustainable. That's not sustainable for me. Most likely, probably not for you. And so I think it's important to recognize those patterns and those shifts that we're making, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally about food. I used to really beat myself up for slipping up. And now I'm just like, it's okay. You got this. I love my body. I love me. And I'm just trying to get to a healthier, a better version of me. I was doing a mental exercise with the workout program that I'm doing, and they were having us pick 12 dreams to help us get to a goal. And they asked, okay, so what's the best version of you? And as I'm writing it out, I love to write. What really came out was the best version of me is confident in what I eat and how I exercise, confident in listening to myself, confident in feeling good in my own skin. And that's really what I'm working towards. And it's not about, it doesn't go back to just numbers on a scale or even just those measurements. Even though I am excited that I'm down 13 inches, that's a great measurement, but so is checking in with myself and how do I feel about myself? And I'm feeling really great. And I'm feeling really proud of myself for being consistent and sticking with these habits. And I'm going to keep sticking with them and keep nailing it down. And when I did have those struggles with food this week because of some stressful moments, I said, okay, I obviously need some more help here. What can I do to manage my stress? And so I've been looking into some meditation apps and trying out the new Balance app with Apple, and I'm really loving it. But I know there's some other really good ones, Calm, Headspace, some other good ones like that, that you can use to manage stress or relaxation. Meditation are really great. I think sometimes we separate mental and physical health a little too much and say, oh, meditation's for my mental health and exercises for my physical. And it's not like that. They're all interconnected. Health is health. And we subdivide it into categories to help us. But when it comes down to it, meditation, when it lowers my stress level, lowers my cortisol levels, then I'm not craving sugar and I'm not pulling into that. And my MetaPWR is definitely helping reduce my sugar cravings. Instead of needing a whole brownie, I can be like, hey, I just want to have a bite and then I'll save that for later. And that's been great. And I definitely turn to my MetaPWR in those stressful times. But again, it was an emotional response, not just a physical craving. And so, it's a combination of tools. Sometimes you got to have a whole toolbox not sometimes, all the time, we have to have a whole toolbox to really support us in our wellness journal, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. We need all the tools. So here's to another great week. I'm super excited to just keep getting better and keep working on myself. And I hope you're doing the same. Have a great day.